Coolmore Stud has for generations cultivated some of the best sire lines in the world: Danehill, Sadler's Wells, Galileo and more. And in 2021 they welcome a son of champion sire Redoute's choice, King's Legacy, one of the rarest of rare of first season sires, a dual Group 1 winning 2-year-old.
He's the Group 1 king, King's Legacy.
Tom, Coolmore Australia continues the great legacy of the global operation with 2 new sires this year in Wootton Bassett, who we'll profile once he's settled in, and King's Legacy we'll look at today. But it's been quite some year in the breeding industry in Australia already, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's right, Caroline. The sales throughout 2021 have been incredibly strong, starting with the Magic Millions yearling sale in January and all the way through to the breeding stock sales at Inglis and Magic Millions in May and June. It's a wonderful industry here in Australia. Coolmore recognises that, and that's why we send stallions like Wootton Bassett over to Australia to stand at stud. It really shows the Magna family's commitment to the industry here in Australia. They've continued to invest in quality stock, as you've seen throughout the sales right through the year. It's a really exciting place to be at the moment, and we can't wait to offer the progeny of those outstanding mares at the sales in the coming years.
Well, it's wonderful to see the stunning King's Legacy here today, a dual Group 1 winning 2-year-old by Redoute's choice, who, as with his father Danehill before him, is one of global breeding's absolute greats. Of course, King's Legacy is, crossed with not a single doubt's female line. It's Snippets family too. It's such a deep page.
King's Legacy really has all the credentials that a stallion requires to be a success at stud, and we have great belief in him. As you say, a son of Redoute's choice, the only son of Redoute's choice to ever win 2 Group 1s as a 2-year-old, from a sire's pedigree, from the immediate family of Not a Single Doubt and Snippets. He really is a wonderful package, and we're delighted to have him here at Coolmore. He's been very well received since he's been here, and we can't wait to see how his career unfolds.
His type, I mean, what a magnificent colt. He was picked out by one of the best judges, of course, James Harron, as a yearling for $1.4 million, bred by Sedgenho Stud, always stunning looking. But, as a racehorse, some of the vision of him in the sun, he was just one of those magnificent, masculine-looking colts, wasn't he? And they are, of course, the ones that become some of the best stallions.
Yeah, he's a beautiful horse. Has been since day one. Obviously, James Harron is a great judge, and he buys a lovely horse. Him to make a $1.4 million at the Magic Millions in January, offered by Sedgenho Stud, great breeders. He's a real eye catcher. He's a real look and book type horse. Anyone that's come to the farm to see him since he's retired has loved him and has wanted to send a mare to him. He's the type of horse that's going to get a very good looking yearling to present at the sales, and we see him as being a great commercial option for any breeder in Australia. At
only his second race start, he was a group winner in the BJ McLaughlin Stakes. He beat the subsequent Lightfinger Stakes when every rose. He had to push his way out on the turn, but I really loved the way he pinned his ears after she raced away, and he was able to get past her and win.
Yeah, he's a naturally gifted racehorse, and was from day one. James Harron and the Snowden team have indicated that. For him to go out and win a group race before the new year of his 2-year-old season really tells you what a naturally gifted racehorse he was. To beat a horse of the quality of Every Rose, who had already come out and won the Jim Crack Stakes, really showed the natural ability that he possessed.
And we're ready now for the first of our Group 1s, the Inglis sires, 1,400 metres, and they're off. King's Legacy is really starting to surge. King's Legacy a length away, draws level with Prague. King's Legacy wins the Inglis sires.
Of course, it was after this point that Coolmore bought into King's Legacy. That's just a huge endorsement of this colt, adding him to your esteemed roster, and he truly was the Group 1 king, as Darren Flindell called him again in the Champagne Stakes, beating the likes again of Ole Kirk.
We purchased him after the size produce. It was such an eye-catching performance, and he was a horse with great credentials that we really just had to have. To go on and win the Champagne Stakes a few days later really confirmed the belief that we had in him, and to become a multiple Group 1 winning 2-year-old, beating Ole Kirk in both of his Group 1 wins, we really couldn't have been any happier to have him at that point. 5 Group 1 races for 2-year-olds on offer in Australia every year, and he won 2 of them, so it's no mean feat. And it just gives an indication to what an incredibly talented racehorse he was, and the sire that he can be.
And we know Redoute's Choice, as I said, I mean, he is one of the world's greats, but as a sire of sires, I mean, what a legacy he's already left.
Redoute's Choice, arguably the greatest sire of sires since Danehill himself. And we feel like King's Legacy really fits the mould of the sires that are carrying on that line. Horses like Snitzel, Not a Single Doubt, and now Extreme Choice. He's that medium-sized type horse, well put together, very correct, and very much in the mould of Redoute's Choice himself. We have so much confidence in this horse, and the way in which breeders are going to get behind him and support him with quality mares is very exciting for us. It's really important for stallions like King's Legacy to receive support from very early on in their career, and the support that King's Legacy is going to receive is phenomenal. He has a great group of shareholders in him who are supporting him with some of their own very best mares. People like Jonathan Munns, who has a wonderful broodmare band, and James Harron and his ownership group are really throwing their support behind this horse, and they'll give him every chance to succeed at stud. He's bred on the same Redoute's Hassanet cross as Extreme Choice, who's had a wonderful start to his career, almost a three-quarter brother to Not a Single Doubt, one of the best stallions we've seen in the last few years. And then it goes back to the family of Snippets, a great Australian stallion in his own right. So yeah, it's a family littered with the successful sires, and we're very confident that King's Legacy can carry on that. You talk to people like James Harron and those that looked after him at Snowden Racing when he was in training, and they always remarked on what a wonderful temperament he had when he was in training. Ever since he's been back here at Coolmore and settled into his new surroundings, he's continued in the same vein. He's got a wonderful temperament, a beautiful nature, and we're confident that that will be thrown into his offspring in time.
Such an exciting horse, King's Legacy, and I know myself I'm really looking forward to seeing his foals next year. I can only imagine what it's like up there for you with this weight as the first mares come in for him in season 2021.
Yeah, King's Legacy, he's a stallion that really has it all in terms of his credentials. A dual Group 1 winning 2-year-old, a wonderful size pedigree, arguably the best looking horse in the Hunter Valley, and we really look forward to watching his career unfold.
Looking at King's Legacy on G1 Goldmine, and the top two female affinities with his sire Redoute's Choice are Natalma and Special. 35% of Group 1 winners by Redoute's Choice have Natalma in their dam's pedigree, while 29% of the champion sire's stakes winners have the mother of Northern Dancer on the distaff side. They include Miss Finland, the Autumn Sun, Lankan Rupee and Samantha Miss. 22% of Redoute's Choice's Group 1 winners have Special on the dam side, with 19 of his stakes winners having the same, including stars such as Streamer, Trapeze Artist, Miracles of Life and more. Often both these mares appear through Saddler's Whirls and Nureyev, and you can look at how your mare matches up with King's Legacy for free by going to the Coolmore Stud website.